All right. Paranoia agent, what did you think?
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. This is Kevin.
I don't know why we do I don't know why do we do introductions?
So that the people know that the video started.
So you just have to hit play.
Yeah, but sometimes you want that little buffer of like, who am I listening to? You know, we might get
Well,
listeners.
when you make it to episode what is this, 11 or 12 by now?
Yeah, some people they don't catch up. They need to they just drop down in the middle. Like you ever watch My Bim Bam? Did you watch the first one, or did you just drop in?
My Bim Bam, I started from the beginning.
Oh.
And I dropped off a lot because it just, I don't know, it didn't kill my interest.
I mean, there is a lot, but I don't want to talk shit about other people. Let's restart the video.
No. Let's keep it going. People want to know our opinions.
Okay, cut out.
I'm not cutting nothing.
Okay.
It's all staying in.
Check out My Bim Bam. They're pretty good. I like their videos.
They're okay.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Now, Paranoia Agent is a series that I watched on Adult Swim in 2004 or 2005.
Paranoia Agent is an anime I watched at work this year.
So, yeah, this is your first time seeing it. I've seen it before. When I first saw it, I didn't see the first episode. I saw the second episode and just kind of went from there. I didn't watch the first episode until after I watched the whole show from that point.
But you rewatched it, didn't you?
Yeah, but I rewatched it several times.
I meant for this, recently.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I told you.
Well, I was just getting clarification because I was a little jumbled.
Okay. Well, now that you've been junior jumbled. Now, I'd like to say that I love it. What do you think about it?
Why are you typing?
The mic a little closer so I could say, would you like to clarify that statement?
Why are you typing, Kevin?
I'm not typing anything.
It says you were.
Oh, I think I accidentally hit the B key when I moved my mic.
I don't know. It had a lot of really cool ideas, and I want to talk about it episode by episode.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's start episode 1. Let's go.
Well, let me pull it up real quick.
All right, episode 1.
I have a lot to say about every episode.
Oh, did you write a lot?
I didn't write anything because I was at work.
Oh.
But
okay, so
if I just look at episode 1 real quick, I will tell you all the answers. Okay, first of all.
Yeah.
The opening.
Yeah.
At first I didn't know what it meant, and then I was watching. I had these ideas of the people and in the situations they're put in. It's that's the opposite of who they are as a personality. And then I went on, and I was like, oh, maybe it's who they are as a person. After that, I was like, I have no fucking idea.
Okay, so going by them one by one.
Oh, now that I'm watching it again, now that I'm done this show, I understand what it all means.
Oh, you understand it? Okay, then we don't have to go there.
It's just what that whole story is about.
I love that whole opening. I think it's really good. I just love the music, and I love the characters laughing over weird scenes. And I like how it kind of factors into things as well.
I guess with the laughing, I thought just everyone went insane throughout the course of the show, and not in the sense that when they did go insane. Spoilers for final episode, or final 2.
Oh, spoilers! We're going to talk about the final episode of the show.
We're talking about all of it.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, stop watching.
It's only 13 episodes. We have seen the guy who wrote this. We saw his other thing before, Perfect Blue.
Wasn't he also lead animator on this, or did he only write this?
Oh, I don't know that.
Because he does kind of have the similar style, or maybe he just worked for the same people. I don't know that much about anything.
Well, I noticed in episode 1, the way people were drawn, it was very hey, this is Perfect Blue. And then as it went on, the animation changed a little bit in terms of how they show their faces.
Yeah.
And how shots are set up.
I think some of them did have like guest animators on or something, because I remember episode 8 is very animated differently.
A lot of episodes are like that, but
I'm not exactly sure on that. I did read an interview though, like, so Satoshi Kon, when he like came up with the show, it was basically like he had a lot of leftover ideas from like Tokyo Godfathers and like Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress, and was like, I'm just gonna make a show with all the leftover ideas I have that don't, and then it just started from there.
Millennium Actress, I only read the synopsis for it, and I'm like, oh, this is just Perfect Blue.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I saw Tokyo Godfathers. I saw half of Tokyo Godfathers once when I was a teenager. I didn't see the whole thing. I
have not seen it.
I kind of want to watch the whole thing. I really liked it. I liked the half I saw.
I really want to talk about it now, even though it's in the last episode.
Okay. We're going to start from the end.
From the end. I thought it was fucking crazy how that detective became the old man.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, who's this old guy? And I saw his face, and I went,
oh shit. Were you watching the after credits parts?
No, I stopped after the first couple episodes, because I'm like, oh, they're just showing me what's happening.
It's the final episodes after credits thing. It's him instead of the old man.
Oh, fuck! I'm looking at it now. This is crazy.
Hell yeah.
Oh, a lot of cuts. Holy cannoli. So why is it called Paranoia Agent, maybe? I don't understand that.
So, basically, the reason why was because, like, he actually, while reading that interview, he did actually talk about that. How, like, he wanted to create, like, a kind of, the title, the word paranoia kind of gives, like, an idea of, like, something that's, like, it's not quite fantasy and it's not quite realism. And he thought that would be super cool.
Well, at first it started off as a detective story.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of the cases connected in one way or another. Then after that, it's like, it went off the rails.
Yeah, like, the way I was introduced to it was that it was like a ghost story. So I was like, oh man. And I just like, checked it out. Because like, the Adult Swim promo is like all about like, oh dude, fucking, he's coming for you. Which, the show does like leave that zone, but it's like,
yeah. The character designer for the dog.
Yeah. Tsukiko.
The whole time I was like, yo, Hello Kitty had weird origins.
Oh my god.
Is this what it was like for her?
Oh my god.
Because, like, if you look at how it ended, it's like, yeah, Hello Kitty mania.
Yeah.
Right?
Kinda. Like, the dog got a little too much baggage. I'm gonna switch to a cat.
I don't think maybe I have too much to say about episode 1 beyond that.
Yeah.
Besides that, the opening scene with all the people, like, going about their daily lives on their phones, how that was recycled for the last episode.
It's not actually quite recycled. If you like look directly at the dialogue they're saying, in the first episode they're all talking about dodging things and like getting around stuff, and the last episode they're all complaining about like, well, I gotta confront this. And it was supposed to be like a mirror image. Like, it's the opposite of how they were.
Well, I did notice that they were saying different things, but I noticed that the footage was the same.
Yeah.
That's what I was pointing out. I didn't realize that dialogue thing. That's interesting.
The first time I saw the first episode, I think it might have been because it was the English dub or something. but I remember disliking it because I was like, I don't like it. They kind of give it away too soon.
What do you mean?
Because like the translation for what he says at the end, in the first episode, the last thing is like Little Slugger runs up, or Shonen Bat runs up to Tsukiko, and like after attacking the other guy, and's like, "Hello again," and then he rides off. In the English dub, they translate it as "I'm home," which might be more accurate, but I'm not exactly sure. But I felt like that kind of gives away that like there's a connection between them.
When it's like there would be like even just him by appearing in front of her a second time and not hitting her, I already think there was some sort of connection, but I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
but, I thought maybe it's like I hit you once, so I have no reason to hit you again. I don't know.
Like now that I'm looking at it, yeah, I really like how they do it. I was probably just because I just saw the last episode and then watched the first episode when I first saw it as a teenager.
Well, so, see, you already fucked up.
Well, yeah, because I started with episode 2. Because I was watching it on TV. I had to watch it as it was broadcast. If you remember those days.
I never had a TV growing up. I got grounded from books.
Oh my god!
And the radio.
You weren't allowed to listen to books.
I was allowed to read books.
Oh god.
Well, it's like if it's your only luxury, right?
Yeah. So episode 1, really good. I like. Oh, did you know that I guess I already said it, but the English translation for him was Little Slugger.
No, I didn't know what it was, but I guess that makes sense because isn't that like the Bat Slugger?
Yeah, like Louisville Home Run.
I thought maybe they call him Bat Boy, which they kind of did a reference to.
They made. That's exactly the reason why they call him Little Slugger instead, is because if they called him Bat Boy, everybody would just be like, Batman.
Well, I was gonna say, they kind of like reference that a little bit in one of the later episodes when the detective is on top of a truck and he drops on top of another one.
Oh yeah, and it's like a bat.
And it has like the bat symbol and it says bat on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's the Batmobile.
There was that A&V Hell bit that just said Batman while it was Little Slugger hitting people. Or Shonen Bat. I still say the English dub version even though I just watched the sub.
I saw a few things. So, like, out of context, I saw a photo of, like, when those 3 people were about to hang themselves.
Yeah.
I just saw that, and I was like, I don't know what's going on there.
Mm.
And then I saw an AMV from AMV Hell where it was the kid that was, like, really good at everything, and he would always, like, smile and his teeth would make a sound.
Oh, yeah.
And so they would just keep, like, the AMV was just him doing that over and over and over again. I was like, this is dumb.
Transferring over to episode 2, Ichi, number 1.
Oh, that is number 2. Okay. I thought it was interesting how. What was it? There was a line that I was like, whoa.
This is the first episode that I saw.
Crazy episode.
Yeah. I loved it. It was so good. Did you notice the Gundam reference?
Where? Oh, with the mech you made?
Yeah, the little robot.
I guess it never registered, but I did realize it was a mech.
It's got that red, blue, white color scheme. Anyway,
I was gonna say his tutor, her character design.
Yeah.
Looking at that, I was like, oh, she seems kind of out of place. She seems like she belongs in like a really shitty anime or like a filler episode for something.
Really?
Yeah, she seemed really weird. I thought they did her.
Because of her dress or what?
I don't know, but like this is when she's in her tutor phase on episode 2.
Yeah.
Like just how she looked there, I was like, I don't know.
I liked it.
I'm trying to remember what the line was though. It was him and he he wanted to get back on top. I don't remember what it was, but it was a really powerful thing for me. I can't remember. I wish I wrote it down.
Was it when he didn't want to go to school?
No, it was before that.
When he wanted to eliminate the fat guy?
Yeah, I think it was like during one of those monologues. I don't remember. Shit. But I remember it being just nuts. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
But I thought it was a really cool episode, and how they wrote him. I was like, wow, this is really neat.
Yeah.
Where he's hot shit, but if anything ever threatens that for him, he goes off the rails.
Yeah, like I liked it because like he is kind of in a way like I guess spoiled for affection, so that he really has absolutely no idea how to deal with people disliking him. Because like all of his solutions for like how to solve things are the absolute worst things. Like everything that would help, like talking to an adult or something, like he's like afraid of doing that because like no, that's just gonna make it worse. But it's like everything he does makes it worse.
I don't understand why that other kid got hit though.
Oh, that was the copycat.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. I forgot there's two bats.
The copycat shonen bat hit the fat kid. Because like
completely forgot.
There was like a hint of it, I think, because like the way he like comes up isn't the same way that real shonen bat comes up.
Maybe, yeah. I was like, before I knew that original shonen bat wasn't real, and I always assumed it was just this guy.
Yeah.
It was like, I thought it was funny when he actually did get caught.
Yeah.
Where like he'd be like, haha, and he sees him get up, he's like, huh, and he gets hit by his shoe.
Like I was so like,
I thought that was hilarious.
I was like, oh man, this is a ghost story. He comes for people. Oh man, this is crazy. He's gonna get him. He's gonna get him. And then like they gets caught. And I was like, what the fuck happened? What? I was so shocked as a 15-year-old me,
thinking this is a ghost story.
Yeah, I mean
the whole time I thought it was just an assailant. I never imagined it as a ghost.
But like, let me get the Adult Swim promo, and you'll know exactly what I mean. Like. If you saw that, you'd be like, oh, this is a ghost story. Like, straight up. But, yeah. Episode 2. What did you think of... Why was the fat kid holding a palm tree?
I was going to ask that. I don't know.
What's the meaning behind that? This was the promo.
Let me see this.
I guess cut this in to, like, the video.
I can do that. Yeah, that they made it look like a whole nother show.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of accurate, but it definitely isn't quite
a horror. It's such a small facet of like, what the show really is.
It kind of is about little shonen bat, but it's also more about like the people that he hits.
Yeah, I like how like the threads that connected to all the stories were really thin.
Yeah.
Especially like with the tutor, and you find out like, oh, that client she was with was that cop.
Yeah.
Like that there, I was like, whoa, this was a roller coaster.
And then there's the episode about the little girl like running away from home, and then you find out her dad was the cop. Again.
And then the grandma, I thought that old lady was that little girl's grandma.
But then like her real granddaughter shows up and is like, oh, you were tricking me.
Well, they also like said some like it's like, oh, when his business failed, and that's when I was a little confused because I'm like, well, he was a cop, he never owned a business.
Yeah.
So I was never certain about what that was going on there, and then they were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. They it was very played around with expectations a lot. So
Yeah, but then again,
episode
that's Satoshi Kon's style, at least for me, where it's, hey, this is what you think is true. Fuck that. And he's like, is this what it means now? And he's like, no, not that either.
okay, here's my theory on the palm tree.
I'm ready.
The kid was
Yeah.
supposed to be from the countryside.
That's not a theory. That's a statement of fact.
There you go.
But we already knew that.
I think maybe he was probably taking the palm tree for show and tell. And he had to bring it back home.
Palm trees in Japan, and it was a fake palm tree.
Was it?
I don't think a human can lift a regular palm tree.
Well, it wasn't a fully grown palm tree. It was a little baby one. He was probably taking care of it.
It was foreshadowing for the mushroom cloud of the
Shit!
explosion that's
Wait a
going to
minute.
happen at the end.
The palm tree wasn't real.
No,
Holy fuck! Shonen Bat wasn't real.
It was real because even the kid is like, "Why does this guy have a palm tree?"
No. Like, it's like a plastic palm tree, and that's proof that the Shonen Bat that hits him is fake, and also that the real Shonen Bat is also fake. Holy fuck! It's triple layers.
But even when the kid's having his like nightmare visions, the palm tree is in it.
Exactly.
That nightmare vision sequence is pretty crazy.
I have those.
Let's hang on.
Episode.
Let's start up episode 2 quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wrapped up episode 2.
Okay, so the one last thing I want to say is rewatching the episode 2 where like with the kid and how he didn't want to go back to school and face like he just knew it was going to be like the worst fucking thing if he ever went back. Yeah. Like that resonated me a lot with how I was in school, and like I felt that pit in my stomach again watching it again just recently.
Did you have a history of bullying?
Not exactly. It was more of like I wouldn't do like the right assignment, and I was terrified of like coming to school and being like, oh god, I'm gonna have to look at the teacher and they're gonna know I didn't do it.
Oh.
Like stuff like that.
Huh.
And this brought that pit in my stomach back. So 10 out of 10. Best episode. No wait, not the best episode. That comes later. Episode 3, let's go.
Okay, episode 3 was the tutor.
Yeah. Maria.
And yeah, so she has a split personality?
Yeah.
But then she has like, I don't know, is her prostitute self the personality, or is her personalities besides that one?
I think because at the end, like of the episode, she's being dragged by 2 prostitutes with personalities. So I think it was starting to split even past that, because like at one point when she's talking to the psychiatrist, he talks that like, oh yeah, I talked to your split personality and she said she was okay with everything and she's fine with everything leaving. But then like the personality comes back, and I think like it was starting to fracture from there, where like the good personality was splitting from so like there's regular person and then there's good prostitute, and that split into the bad prostitute, and then eventually
there's no bad prostitute though.
But then the good prostitute, they both became bad in that like the real person was being like, I think, damaged because they were dragging her against her will.
Maybe.
It's complex.
But that was very, very perfect blue in terms of personality and identity disorder, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about like she's talking about having this identity disorder. And like not knowing what's the real her, and she has a place in the world. That is, I think that's something a lot of people can identify with.
Yeah.
Um,
Duh.
they had crows in that episode,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, it's like that episode of Sopranos when Christopher is being like sworn into the gang, and then there was like a bird at the window, and he's like, oh fuck.
I never saw The Sopranos.
Yo, it's crazy.
Is it as crazy as Paranoia Agent?
Might be crazier.
Oh, fuck.
Like, it has more viewers, so it must be doing something right.
Well, I mean, Paranoia Agent is an anime created
Yeah,
by Satoshi Kon in 2004.
I'm hearing nothing but excuses.
Alright. So, episode 3. What did you think of when... Fuck. She had the Joker makeup on.
I was like, whoa. Crazy. They actually did it again in another episode.
I think it's episode 4.
Someone got hit in the nose.
Oh.
And they had a... What was I looking at? Oh, no, wait. I was looking at a fucking Jason Todd fanfic comic.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at today. I remember now.
Oh, okay, alright. Paranoia Agent crossover, Jason Todd gets chased by a little bat.
Oh man, that's gonna give him nightmares.
It's like
the Joker is Little Bat.
Oh my god. What if Little Bat came to the Joker?
Who knows?
Swing and a miss.
I noticed the prostitute personality comes back at the end of the series very briefly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck, what does it all mean?
I was a little bummed that like after a certain episode the characters stopped coming back.
Well, because they kept introducing more.
Well, even then it was just like as soon as the detectives are like off the case, like we stop hearing from like all the first episodes. Well, like in the first 5 episodes they're all interconnected and they're all hanging out.
The only reason why you even saw them was because the detectives talked to them at some point, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 4. A Man's Path.
Oh, okay. So this one, we mentioned before about how he has this. Well, it's the first show of like he has this. I don't know what it would be.
He's a fucking creep.
I was gonna say, like he just hires prostitutes. I actually don't even think. Oh yeah, I knew he had a daughter because he's like, oh, my daughter's entering college,
yeah,
and I was like, but he wants his prostitutes to call him this.
Yeah, but I mean, like, aside from the prostitutes thing, the way he acts at certain points is like 100% creepy.
He's just a pig. Oh, okay. Here's the thing I wasn't sure about. Does he rape that girl?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
I was never sure. It's like they didn't show it, and they never alluded to any like.
I think they alluded
anything like that in a flashback. Well, because they did some flashbacks of like him in the house and doing all these things, but never him like making a move on her. He just says that, and it cuts. So
I mean, like,
certain
the setup up to this moment was every time he's with a prostitute, he tells them, "You have to call me daddy."
Yeah. And
what he says to the little girl right before it cuts away is, "Call me daddy."
But
interpret that however you want. Yeah.
It's a cool thing with the parallels cutting between that and like the movie manga adaptation.
Yeah.
Of him like rescuing the girl, which is really just money.
And he's so into this idea of being a hero, but he's like 100% the opposite.
Okay, like he also gave like that detective that matchbox.
Yeah.
And then the detective constantly looks at it throughout the rest of the series, but I'm like, okay, but what does it mean?
Okay, so that's like a old style matchbox from like I think pre-war Japanese days or something.
Oh.
And I think that's what like the entire thing with the detective was like he was lingering and like wishing for like when he wanted to grow up and become a cop, it was like back in simpler days before the war.
That time. And then when he comes out of the subway, he's like, oh, it's just like after the war.
Yeah. So like when he like his fantasy world is like pre-war Japanese days where it's like everything's simpler and nicer. Yeah. And like in the opening, what is he shot up next to? A nuclear explosion.
Oh yeah.
A mushroom cloud. So
shit, you're deep into this show more than I am. I should have made notes, but I didn't.
I mean, I rewatched the show like 3 times.
Yeah, you have that advantage over me. I watched it at work during a fever.
I've also like looked up like online like what do you guys think about this like discussions.
So you didn't reach your own conclusions, I see.
Well, no, I mean like I was 15 on the internet. I needed to know.
Oh, I thought you did this yesterday.
I mean, I did do some yesterday, like looking back, and I'm like kind of surprised like how a lot of the teenagers watching this were very like, hey guys, I think Little Bat wasn't real. Like that's the level of like thing they're looking into. Also, I keep calling him Little Bat.
We know who he is.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I thought it was cool though with him. He's like after he robbed that family, he keeps shouting for someone to stop him.
Yeah.
And then when someone does, he gets pissed off.
Yeah. Well, he was like high on that.
Yeah, I wonder what he took.
It was the Yakuza pill.
He made him a Yakuza.
So episode 4.
Really good episode.
So, thinking about this, when it comes to like whatchamacallit, 4 is an unlucky number. Episode 4 is the episode that ends with Lil Bat getting caught.
Oh fuck.
But episode 5, it's revealed that we get to interview Little Bat.
And then like getting into his delusion, which I wasn't sure like, exactly what was going on until I realized like, oh, he's just walking them through what happened.
Yeah.
And then that one guy is just following along. I thought it was funny though with the when it came to the cop who busted him, he just gets smushed.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Personally, this was my least favorite episode when I first saw it, and I still don't like it that much. But rewatching it, I think what kind of saves it for me is like the old detective who's just not having any of it, but he's still along for the ride. That part, because like I just don't like the old like generic fantasy thing.
But it's also all in this kid's head.
Yeah, but like I wasn't buying for a second that the kid really believed it. Like I thought he was bullshitting from the very beginning.
Which turned out that he was.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's like I came to the conclusion like, okay, he's bullshitting. He doesn't actually believe this, but we're still... It just felt like the whole episode is I already know.
I think he might actually believe this.
No, because in episode 8, it turns out that his whole goal was to commit suicide. Suicide by cop. Like... He is in episode 8. They're talking online about like, oh yeah, you remember Fox? And then the person on when it cuts to like the message board, they're talking to each other on. Fox is the fake little slugger.
Who did I think Fox?
Like they come out and say that it was him.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot because when I thought Fox was just some guy. And then when it said, I'm going to make them pay, that's when I was like, oh, I think that's him. And then I completely forgot about everything he said in the past.
Yeah. Like, but the gamer guy was, he didn't really believe he was in a video game.
Okay, because the reason why I said that I thought he believed it was because he kept referring to like this master, and there was this one old man we would talk about, or old woman. And then when the detective follows suit, like, all of this fantasy did become reality.
Yeah, but I think, like, the difference is, like, for the detective guy, it actually did become real to him. But, like, for the gamer guy, I don't think it was real ever. He was bullshitting.
It became real for him, but I think a lot of it would. I don't know what was real and what was fake.
Because like
So,
the
like
way
that,
they discover that he's like completely bullshitting is like in his delusions he describes like two victims that were not actually attacked. Like Tsukiko, they come out and reveal that she wasn't actually attacked, but part of his story was like,
yeah.
yeah, when I attacked her, like he was just reading all this off the news so that he could like take credit for it and get killed. Suicide by cop.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I think that's
I guess
it for episode 5.
Oh yeah, there was also. That's when they also I think start going into like more of the old man, because like the other
Barely.
detective guy is like starting to like notice like, hey, that old man. There's a coincidence here.
There's a mystery.
Okay, so now we're on episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now I forgot exactly what happens in this episode. I think this is actually where he gets really in depth to the old man.
I was gonna say they talked to the old lady.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is the cop's daughter episode.
Oh. Okay.
That was a crazy reveal, and I already talked about what I thought about that.
Yeah.
Where I got misled. Do you think she really did lose her memory? Because if that attack wasn't... Well, okay, maybe we should talk about this first then.
So, like, getting into Little Slugger, I think what the show is saying is, like, the first one was fake, and then the second one made it real. Like...
So do you think people were like, oh yeah, I was attacked by Little Slugger too?
I think Little Slugger was created, like he became real. Like it's kind of like Freddy Krueger rules. He only exists.
To ask, is this like Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah,
Craven's New Revenge or whatever.
He only exists if you are actually afraid of him, and by like everybody spreading the word about him, made him like stronger. And
that's what they kept saying. Don't think about him.
Yeah. That's what Radar Man was trying to say.
Well, I was gonna say also, the dog said that to the designer. Like, don't think, and then as soon as she thought, it was over.
Yeah, but I think like also the dog was from another perspective, because like both Little Bat and the dog are all about like avoiding your problems, and the dog's whole thing of don't think was entirely like, yeah, don't think about it, just enjoy your life. Yeah. Instead of like confronting the issues that are actually happening. It's complicated. Oh yeah, and this is the one where like he starts going off the deep end, I think, with his like Little Slugger theories. Or is that episode 7?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reveal, like, when she sees, like, what's on the computer, like, made me sick to my stomach when I first saw it. I was like, oh, God. That's fucked up.
Well...
Oh, yeah. So, getting back onto this, I don't know if she really did lose her memory, but I think she did.
Who was she attacked by? The fake?
She was attacked by the real Slugger.
Oh, that's right.
Because, because there was nobody around to attack her, a ghost just hits her.
So then, how do you lose your memory then? You just, I guess, you go in such a crisis mode in your mind?
Yeah.
That just brings you out?
I think it was like complete mental breakdown. But like everybody else on the show, losing her memory doesn't actually solve her problem.
It's just a very convenient escape.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's try number 7.
Alright, episode 7. This is where everybody screws the pooch.
Yeah, this is where they got fired. Yeah, because the kid dies by suicide.
Yeah, but and like their official answer is like, well, the killer went through the wall, and like nobody believed it, so they just go with suicide, and like they lose all their heads because they allowed it to happen. So,
do you think maybe then them seeing Slugger, that's them saying like, oh, Slugger killed him. It's not our fault he died on our watch.
No, I think at that point Little Slugger really did manifest. Because I think,
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that we made him real.
like, Ikari, the older detective guy, he saw him too, and he is still at this point 100% not on board with this ghost shit.
Okay.
So, like, when he sees it happen, he's like, oh, fuck.
So when the younger detective is having these dreams of the old man, and he splits in two, is that when he realizes that there's two sluggers?
Yeah, I think so. Or that he's thinking that, like, okay, maybe it's not just two, but that it's possible for somebody to do things in two different places at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so then they lose their jobs.
Yeah. Maniwa goes on to become the superhero known as Radar Man.
Was that this one?
No, well, like, throughout the episode,
No.
it's like cutting to like him on the radio.
But that's what I was going to bring up. I didn't know that was him. Like, they were doing that, and then it shows him doing that. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Has he been doing this for a little while? Or did they jump in the future?
Oh, yeah. Also, like, little thing I noticed this time while watching through it again. Mm-hmm. The old man, to begin with, the entire reason he's in the hospital is because the reporter guy in the first episode hit him with a car beforehand. Like, the old man's family comes out and is, like, yelling at him, like, you put our father in the hospital, you need to pay for this. And, like, that's why he's, like, so trying to get a big story. So he can get the money.
I totally misread what that was. I thought that was like a hospital attendant yelling like, hey, pay your dad's bill.
Yeah, it was the other way around. It's the son of the dad.
I misunderstood that.
Yeah. So I think that's basically covers episode 7. Oh yeah, what did you think of the weird little math the old man was doing on the boardwalk?
I was thinking about it today. I was like, what does it all mean? Because at first it was like 512, and the second time we saw it, it was a 1, and I was like, what does it all mean?
So 512 is the room number of Tsukiko.
Whoa.
From the first episode, and 1, Ichi. Ichi means number 1.
Yes.
The second victim.
Oh! This is wild! In my mind at work, I was thinking like, you know, if anyone asks him, he's probably just like, you know what? Fans are going to fucking try to figure this out. They're not going to figure out why. I'm just pulling out of my ass.
So this is the thing that people are wondering. Like, so if the end of the math equation is like predicting the next victim, what did Maniwa, when he became the old man, what did he see at the very last episode that made him get shocked? That's the question. Did he see what was the answer? Who's the next victim?
You know what? I think, you know what the shock was?
Yeah.
The realization that they're in a loop.
Oh, fuck.
Because it's like, well, now he's an old man. Now we have to have another setup. And I think that's him going like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Actually, we'll talk more about the loop later. Let's finish episode 7.
I think that's pretty much it for 7. So let's go on to 8.
Alright, episode 8. Now this is...
Okay, so were they dead the whole time?
Okay, so this is one of the episodes that is the most debated over what did it mean, what's going on. That, like, there are so many fan theories and discussions about it.
Oh, before we move on from this, I have a question about a later episode.
Yeah.
So one of these guys, the younger guy, in his locket, it's like a picture of him, I guess his boyfriend.
Yeah.
But then later on, when we see everyone watching the dog anime on TV, and they're enthralled by it, you see this other, like, it's like an older man, and there's like watching the TV naked.
That was the Yakuza boss.
Oh, okay. I didn't recognize him. I was like, oh, I don't remember these people.
Yeah.
So there must have been a girl in the bed then, because I thought that was another dude.
No, it was a dude.
Whoa. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, double gay.
Okay.
All right.
I just wasn't sure. I was a little confused. I was like, oh, is there something I missed here related to this other guy? But
No, he was a minor character. It was just background.
At first, I thought episode 8 was them just doing a meetup because they're fans of the IP.
Mm.
And then they're like, hey, we're going to kill ourselves. I was like,
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which reminded me a little bit of Welcome to NHK. I only read a little bit of it.
Mm.
But there's a part... Have you seen this show before?
Never. It reminded me of a Three Stooges skit.
Well, I was going to say, maybe we should watch this show, Welcome to NHK, but I'm going to tell you about one plot point of it.
Okay.
There's a part where there's like a group suicide that's going to happen.
Mm.
And so they go camping on this island in a tent. And it's the same method like they did here. It's like, oh, we're going to like put some like carbon monoxide in this tent and it's going to fill up with us in it.
Mm.
Or something like that. And that was like, oh, I guess, is that like a common thing in Japan? I don't know how.
Well, carbon monoxide suicide, that's a common thing here as well.
Well, here, but at least in movies they portray it where they just fill up the garage or they get a hose. But I never thought about like them like hotboxing themselves.
Yeah. They want to do it, I guess.
But you're right. It was a little... This episode did have, like, silly vibes. Like, oh, look at us trying to kill ourselves.
It's 100% black humor. The first time I saw it, it was the fucking most fucked up thing I ever saw.
Well, I was going to say, like, oh, this would be, like, better if it was, like, a Looney Tunes sketch. But I was like, you know what? I realized people are just going to say this is too much.
Yeah. But I liked how they did it. And it's weird that it's, like, got all the double meanings. So, like... The most consensus, I think, is that like they are still alive up until like the part when they're like in the whatchamacallit, when the apartment's getting like torn down, because like up until that point they still cast shadows and people still react to them. But after it's getting torn down, like that's when like people stop reacting to them being present. And that's when they start seeing, like, the weird stuff, like the guy crawling out from the subway. Like, after that.
I thought that was just him, like, wanting to kill himself, but it just did not happen.
Yeah, that's...
He's like, I'm gonna kill myself, and it's like, that didn't work.
No,
and I was like, oh, that's just another bit they threw in.
It was his ghost, because nobody else reacts to, like, the bloody guy. They're still all screaming at the subway.
Oh. I thought... Maybe they died when Slugger showed up?
Nah, they were already dead.
Shit, and they don't realize it. I feel like this is another movie. Oh, there was a movie called
The Sixth Sense?
I was gonna say White Noise.
Oh,
where there's this couple,
I never saw that.
There's a couple in their home, and then there's these home invaders that come in, and they're like, oh no, what do we do?
Oh, I think I saw this, actually.
Yeah, and then they find out it's like, oh, the invaders are just like Ghostbusters. They're trying to get rid of these people.
Oh my fucking god! I didn't know that.
So wait, is this when the crows start showing up then? After
I don't remember the crows showing up, but
I remember crows like reoccurring throughout the episode 8. It looks like they show up after their death.
Yeah, that might be real. Also,
so I was right about the Sopranos.
Yeah. Also, another thing, the one thing hotly debated, why do you think they all killed them? They all wanted to die? I have my own fan theory that I've cultivated over 14 years.
Okay, my theory for the older guy and the younger guy, or the two guys, was just they're just pessimists, and they're just donezo. The girl, she has kid logic, so she doesn't understand the severity of anything. And I think if she, to her, she doesn't understand like how permanent death is, and that's also why like the older guy is like, hey, this is beyond life changing. She cannot be a part of this.
Life ending.
Sorry?
Life changing, life ending.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my fan theory.
Okay.
So, Zebra, the younger guy, was gay.
Yep.
You see in his locket, there was another guy in his life. You don't see him or hear from him throughout this entire episode. My assumption is his soulmate died already, and he has nothing left to live for, so he's killing himself because of that.
I would say that's pretty extreme, but
That's
I
my
think
that's it's just a fan theory. My
based
second
on
theory,
absolutely nothing.
based on the clues of you see that he has a lover that never shows up in the episode aside from that picture.
Okay, but he could have just dumped him. It doesn't mean has
That
done.
you know what? Maybe he did.
He didn't have to take it that extreme.
But I mean, it's suicide, so I'm going with the most extreme here.
All right. Why did the old guy want to die? Because
He never
composer style, and he never made
Here's
it.
my thought. He never had kids. He never had a family.
Yeah.
He felt like he got to this age, never did anything. He's like, well, I never had anything to live. I don't have anything else to live for. I never had a family or anything. Or maybe he did have a family and they all died. But just anyway, he just has nothing left to live for because, again, family. Third, the little girl.
Wait. Before we talk about the girl, then I have a question.
Yeah.
Why did Fox want to die?
Fox is an extra character in this episode. He's just some background thing that's giving them like ideas on how to commit suicide.
But we said Fox was the fake little slugger.
Yeah, but he's not one of these three people. This episode is about these three people. We don't need to know why he committed suicide.
Yes, we do. Because he did commit suicide. In fact, he beat them to the punch.
Listen, he was he was in a heated gamer mode.
He doesn't even game.
Yeah, he does. He plays like RPGs all day.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, he had this whole like thing about like, oh, dude, I play Zelda all the time. Check it out. Here's my Dragon Quest character.
And that's why he killed himself over it?
Yeah.
I'd be dead long ago if I fucking look at my Gmod numbers again. Fuck, that was a waste of a summer.
Okay, so my thought with him is, for Fox, it was entirely for attention. Because, again, like he said, like, I'm going to go out with a bang. And, like, his way of going out with a bang is, like, jumping on board, like, this little slugger craze and, like, copycatting it so that, like, he'll be able to commit suicide and everybody will know about him. Like, he was going 100% just going for that attention high. And also, yeah, some people do commit suicide like that, I think.
Yeah.
Because some people, teenagers do weird things. The little girl, here's my explanation.
Okay, I'm ready.
She was an unwanted pregnancy. Her parents disowned her. Well, not disowned her, but like they didn't take care of her. She probably got put up for adoption and nobody adopted her.
That's backed by?
Alright, so there's a common theme through all of my reasonings for all three of these people.
They don't have anyone in their lives.
They don't. It's all because of family. Because the last thing you see in the episode is they all pass by a condom machine, and then it closes up on the condom machine, and it says "Happy Family Planning."
I forgot about that. I was wondering why that shot was in there, and I watched the next episode of it was like the doctor's office. I'm like, oh, this is a weird way to transition.
No, but it's like that's the title of the episode, "Happy Family Planning."
That would apply to all three of them then.
Yeah. So that's why my fan theory is all entirely like shitty family life.
That really works.
See, you were 100% trying to like discredit me this whole time.
Well, because you didn't really have any evidence at that time.
Hold on.
You were just like, these are just my thoughts, and then you fucking pull out the big guns.
Well, yeah.
It's like, well, if I knew that to start with, I would have followed you.
You gotta beef it up before you go in for the kill.
You gotta set expectations extremely low, and then he'll never be disappointed.
And then you hit him with a home run.
You fucking little slug him.
A little slug him.
Let me give you some little sluggers here.
So, like, also when they're dead, the only person who sees them is Little Slugger, which is he is a ghost. Woo.
Well, okay, that's where I have like two things I want to bring up then. Mm-hmm. When they're at the spa, you hear them making noise, and then you see like this housekeeper stop. Mm-hmm. So I thought maybe she heard them, but now with your point, maybe she thought she heard something.
Oh yeah.
But then when they're chasing Little Slugger down the staircase, the housekeepers are just standing there. Also,
It's possible they heard the noise of like footsteps but didn't see anything. Because like also the other last thing that happens in the episode is they walk up behind, they photobomb a thing, and then when they look at the photo, it's like, holy fuck, what is this? Like they're all terrified.
Which is common in Japanese ghost folklore.
Yeah, so like it's possible like they heard the ghost, but like didn't see anything.
I'm just hang on.
Or they were
looking at some scenes here. It doesn't look like. Maybe they do.
Maybe it's.
I was gonna say they don't cast shadows, but I think they do. No, they don't cast any shadows.
Yeah, there's like I did notice like a lot
like
earlier
they cast
than
shadows onto.
scene.
Yeah, they cast shadows onto themselves.
Yeah,
but not onto the ground.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, and like they do set that up. This time when I rewatched, I noticed like they do set that up a lot earlier. Or they also don't show their shadows in general. Like they keep the camera pointed away.
At least when they're alive.
Yeah, but even like after they're supposedly already dead, like they still keep the.
Well, I did see a shadow when they're on the train. So maybe my logic is faulty.
But it also might be unclear because, like, again, the idea that they already killed themselves in the one thing, that's still also just a fan theory. That might be incorrect. They might have already been dead the entire episode.
I did like the how like sometimes like they'll actually talk to each other, and then sometimes they're about to speak, and then it cuts to the lobby, and they're chatting on like IRC or whatever.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I thought I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, yeah, they didn't do that for the whole episode, which would have got a bit tiresome. But I love how they would put that in throughout. Yeah,
I love that. Just this is something that always bothers me. Is like a lot of English translations lately won't translate stuff like that, and I don't know why. Like they'll just show the Japanese text and then not translate the text.
Yeah,
I don't get why people do that. But I was so glad that it was translated because I love reading that stuff. Because it's part of the episode. Fuck.
It was actually a really, really cool episode. It was a standout.
Yeah.
But also because it was one of the most unique ones out of the whole series.
Yes, it is. It's the episode that I always go back to and think about, I think. And it's weird because it's the one where, like, Little Bat is, like, not even in it. Like, he shows up for a second.
Until the end.
But he's not even the one that kills them or anything. He just shows up and runs away.
He's killing other people.
Yeah.
Which is alluded to in the next episode, which kind of made me think that they may have not died.
Yeah.
I had conflicting thoughts.
What's also...
No, I'm looking at the scene where they're running down the stairs.
Yeah, they might actually... I do remember seeing, when I saw that, I was like, are they actually reacting to them? Maybe they are alive.
No, wait, they can't be. Little Slugger has a shadow. No one else does.
Oh, fuck.
They're all dead.
Oh, shit.
So that means Little Slugger was actually real, and those people did see him.
Yeah. But he also saw the ghosts.
I think he flipped his shit because he saw 3 ghosts. And he's like, no!
Oh my god. What's interesting is, like, so throughout the first few episodes, when, like, the rumors are coming out, like,
yeah,
when you first see Little Slugger, you don't really see him. Like, you see, like, that glint.
Silhouette.
You see a silhouette. But as they're, like, describing, like, the lore of, like, oh yeah, it's like a baseball bat and it's all bent, it starts, like, showing, like, Little Slugger starting to take form. Until the end of the episode where he's, like, fully formed.
Yeah.
So, like, every time somebody, like, adds something onto it, like, oh yeah, he hits people and he makes them better, it's like, oh yeah, that's what he does. But then, like, they start bringing up, like, yeah, he's a serial killer. Then he starts killing people.
It's, yeah, it is very true to, just regular urban legends where everyone knows fucking like Bloody Mary and Candyman and shit, but to us we're real.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! They even show a shot here. Okay, so when they're in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's the one. Like I was like, oh yeah, you definitely see no shadows.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I didn't notice that before.
Because like you see the kids running by, and they have shadows.
Yeah, and then he starts losing his shit, and he's like, "I gotta take these pills." I didn't understand why he was tripping out. I thought it was just he needed his medication.
No, he saw that he didn't have a shadow. And he's like, "Oh
man,
fuck.
I'm fucking stupid."
Oh yeah,
I pride myself on knowing these things, but oh man.
Oh yeah, the thing I wanted to bring up is like in the first episode, one of the descriptions for like his baseball bat is like, yeah, it's like bent in the shape of like a dog's leg.
The dog.
Da da da. Romy.
But yeah, it's like he becomes real in our minds, kind of like when we believe in folklore enough, we start to believe it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like one of the reasons why like I won't do Bloody Mary. Like I don't believe in that, but I still have that like little fear. It's like, oh, but something might happen.
Yeah, like
I can't take that risk.
I think like the thing that I'm worried about with that is that like I don't think it's real. I don't think anything's gonna happen. But my mind might make something happen in my mind, and that will freak the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if it is all in my head, like my head is still gonna process it as if it's happening. So, yeah, I do want to see the movie Candyman, though I still haven't seen it.
Actually, I didn't know. I don't think I knew Candyman was a movie as a kid, but I knew that there was like an urban legend called Candyman.
Yeah, like this one girl who was like totally into horror stuff when I was a kid. She told me like, oh yeah, there's this guy, he's Candyman. You wanna like? I don't know. I don't even remember how she described it. I remember it's like she would watch Nightmare on Elm Street all the time. But I wouldn't be invited because I was like, you're too little. But her little sister, who was a year younger than me, was allowed to watch. So I was like, what?
I remember at like summer day camp, you would say we have a local like play theater, and someone would say like, hey, say Candyman like 3 times in the mirror, and he'll appear on the stage upstairs.
Oh fuck! When I was in summer camp, there was this guy. He put on a sombrero and he's like, "Yo, I'm a snowman. I'm Paco, the Mexican snowman."
This is dumb.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that bit as a small child. And then one day we found the sombrero and his like thing, and we were like, "Oh no, he melted."
That's actually pretty funny.
That was the end of that saga.
With having that condom shot at the end, yeah, that does prove quite a bit of things.
Yeah, but it might also be a coincidence as well.
Well, they wouldn't give you a shot and not explain it.
Yeah. So episode 8, probably one of my favorite episodes in the series.
Well, now it's like really stand out because at first I thought it was like, oh, they're just ghosts, but now there's a lot more to it.
Yeah. All right, episode 9.
Oh shit!
What'd you think of this one?
Okay. Yeah, I like the one because they're just telling like stories and shit.
Okay.
I like the one though with the cram student like losing all his like formulas in his head.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. So
this episode was one of my least favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Rewatching it, I think I found out why. So the entire thing is like there's like this newcomer girl to like everybody else telling the rumors, and like they are just treating her like shit.
Oh
like,
yeah, definitely.
And it's like 100% unfair, and like their stories are completely unbelievable bullshit, and like she actually tries to put in like make it a realistic story, and like everybody treats it, and then she's like, okay, well I guess you guys just want crazy stories, and then she tries going crazy with it, and then they just talk shit on all over that. Like that, I think the reason why I disliked it so much as a teenager was because like that was how I was feeling like on the internet whenever I tried to like join fan communities or anything.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody would worship everybody else and be like, "Oh, I want to fit in," and I'd try to like do the things, and then everybody would be like, "Fuck you."
I was kind of like that yesterday. I was at a film shoot, And I try to make like I try to make like a Parks and Rec reference, and it did not go over well.
Oh man, yeah.
They were like they were talking about like I don't know what the phrase was, something to do with comeback, and then they were making like sex jokes about that. And then I made a reference to the Parks and Rec. It's like, well, everyone loves a comeback story, you know, like Kim Kardashian. It did not go well.
Oh god. Oh god.
I actually made another joke.
Oh no.
No, listen.
Yeah.
There was two people that were talking, but one of them misheard the other, and it's like, oh, I thought you said that. What was it? You weren't a virgin as a kid. And it's like, no, I didn't say that at all. I was a virgin as a kid. None of my friends were, and I was like, yeah, abstinence for life. And it's like, and he's like, what? I'm like, abstinence till I die.
Oh, no.
So, tip out there, if you want to fit in with people you don't know, don't make reference to Park and Recreation or Mabim Bam. You'll be an outcast.
I think just in general, like, I think it's just that, like, it's sex jokes probably are not like the best references.
They made the jokes first. I was just jumping in.
Yeah, I think like
I'm the weirdo.
Like I think like were you like the director of the shoot or what?
No, I was just a cameraman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should have been okay then. What the fuck? Those guys are sticks in the mud.
I know. I was fucking killing it.
Yeah. All right.
One of the old wives' tales was that young couple one where he like paints on the wall and shit.
Yeah, and she points out that was a famous story, and she's right. I'm pretty sure that is a famous story.
I wouldn't be surprised. That it feels like it would be a story. But I was gonna say the art style in that one was very unique to the rest of the show.
Yeah,
but I think it's how they drew the eyes. They gave them like really deep mascara.
It looked a lot more like shoujo.
Yeah, it was like right up there. It was great. As opposed to like a lot of the other character designs, it did feel like very Satoshi Kon style. Also, some things I felt were rotoscoped. I can't remember. Oh yeah. I remember in episode 8.
Yeah.
When the old man runs away the first time when he realizes the little girl's there, and he kind of like flails his arm a little bit.
Yeah. When he
I'm like, oh, that was rotoscoped. There's no way that wasn't.
It could be. I don't really know the trick, but episode 8 had a very like hyper realistic style, but also cartoony at the same time. It was odd because it also had like a low FPS, I think, compared to other scenes in the show. Because the way they like move and the way the little girl laughs around and stuff, like it might have been rotoscoped. I'd believe it. I think didn't Satoshi Kon do an Animatrix episode?
Anime what?
The Animatrix.
What's Animatrix?
It was the
Animatrix.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The shorts of the Matrix anime.
Let me look that up.
Because I swear you did one.
I never watched it. I don't think.
Oh, dude, we should do the Animatrix.
Oh shit! It doesn't look like it.
No, he did like one short. There's like 9 shorts from 9 different directors.
Yeah, I'm looking at list of directors.
Oh, was he not in it?
The guy who did like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, he did one.
Okay, I know that. And I know like Madhouse did one.
I know Madhouse did some of like that Batman Dark Knight or whatever.
Gotham Knight. The one I think that I thought was Satoshi Kon was Beyond. Who did that one?
Some guy this guy did like Kiki's Delivery Service, City Hunter, Fist the North Star, co-founder of Studio 4 Degrees, the same people that do like I think like they did some of the Halo Legends. They do all the animation for like Atlas. It's like Persona
Atlas. And shit. No.
Why do you hate them? Come on.
No, I don't. It's just like there's that one meme comic where like it's like, oh wait, this game's great. Oh no, Fatless, and then like the guy starts suddenly turning really fat.
What the fuck?
It was funny. It's old internet humor. Probably out there.
It's gonna be weird. Like a lot of old, like early internet era jokes are just gone.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
It's probably for the better.
I'm just saying.
A lot of early internet jokes weren't that great.
Well, a lot of jokes out now aren't that great either, but...
Yeah. But you know what is great?
Episode 8?
Squarespace.
Oh my god.
We're also sponsored by Mountain Dew. Do the do.
I don't think we're ever going to get a sponsorship, even if you do 1,000 episodes.
We're sponsored by Purified Water. Shit.
We're sponsored by Tap Water. It's free. You can get it anywhere.
And it tastes fuck all. Check out Lemmy and his show.
We're not sponsored, but we are sponsoring Lemmy's Twitch channel.
Check him out. He does Minecraft vids. He does Goose vids. He's got it all, man. He plays Dark Souls.
Oh, hang on. I think I just realized something.
Oh, what? Oh, no.
Let me rewind this quick. Okay, so when the newcomer wife was telling the story of the mafia boss and the politician, like, she has a freckle, and then so does the boss and the politician. It's not in the same spot, but they have one nonetheless.
Maybe she was in her head, like, making characters similar to herself.
Maybe. I just thought it was interesting. I just noticed that now. I like as we talk about episodes, I just let them run.
Yeah. Episode, yeah, like...
Well, how'd you feel about the ending of it when she comes in on her husband?
It was alright. I think my favorite story of the ones was the one about the stepmom.
Yeah, that one is actually the most realistic.
Like, when she's, like, ready to fucking kill her. Like, I was, like, all in.
Connected to episode 10, so her husband was a screenwriter.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same guy that, well, like, in the episode where they're talking about the anime. Fuck. I was like, oh, that's him!
Is it? Oh, shit, that'd be fucking...
It would have to be.
Oh, wait, I think... No, wait, the director dropped out.
So did the writer.
Oh, shit. Maybe.
A lot of people did. Because a lot of these episodes actually do happen at the same time as others.
Yeah.
Okay. Not exactly one after another.
I think episode 10... So, episode 8 and episode 10 are my favorite episodes of the series. That's
last
my
point.
Thing.
Last point about episode 9.
Yeah.
The apartment in Spello, etc.
Oh, yeah. That's the name of the episode. ETC. Oh. So, like, episode 8, 9, and 10 are, like, considered by... Like, back when the show was coming out, people were calling them filler episodes.
Really?
But they're not filler. And I remember...
Well, I guess maybe because they don't have the detectives.
Yeah, people... At the time, I think people assume that any episode that's not following the main plot is filler. But, like, the main plot was, like, just... Yeah.
When I started this show, I was only on episode 4, and I was talking to a coworker. I'm like, yeah, I'm watching the show Paranoia. What's it about? And I'm like, I'm not really sure. I think a cop raped a girl. I'll get back to you on that.
Oh my god.
That's all I know.
Oh my god. That's the weirdest way to introduce someone to the show.
Episode 10 I really liked, and I think it's...
When you were talking about, like, that one stuff you liked about Perfect Blue, and, like, that one series you're doing right now, this is the episode that I was thinking, like, you'd love this episode.
Well, actually, I'd love it for reasons that you don't expect.
Okay, go.
So first of all, I thought how it opened, like, oh, this is going to be the style of the whole episode. They're going in a different approach.
Yeah.
And then it had, like, these inconsistent, like, animation errors. I'm like, oh, that's going to be part of the show now. Then I realized, like, oh, this is a show in the show.
Mm.
Which I'm like, you know what? That's fine. That's rad.
Yeah.
But what I really liked about it was when you're following the production assistant in the car.
Yeah.
I guess maybe just having a horror story in one location does a lot for me.
Yeah.
And I felt like him in this car, all that you hear is the rain and the windshield wipers.
Yeah.
And that's, like, pretty much it.
What the one shot that I caught this time that I fucking love is, like, when he, like, dodges the truck, in the background you see Little Slugger following him. and like he doesn't call any attention to it. He doesn't notice it or mention it, but he's like following him, like already in the car. And then like it's like earlier on in the episode, like, and I
when
really
he dodges
like
the truck.
Yeah, I forget when it was, but I really like that shot.
Must have been the third time he fell asleep.
Like you see it in the rearview mirror, I think.
No, I only see his eyebrow. Oh yeah, I see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't notice it, but we do.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I did catch that. No, I didn't care for that. This was about a show making a show. Oh, considering how fucking sick I am of working on the show I'm on.
Oh god. Well, if you saw this earlier, you probably would have been all for it.
Oh yeah, I would have fucking just, Teenage Cream Dream or whatever. How does that Katy Perry song go?
Teenage Cream Dream.
That's what it's called. Is that what it's about?
I don't listen.
Isn't
to
it just
Perry.
teens just like dry humping or something? I don't know. Katy Perry's into weird shit.
Katy Perry likes sex, I guess.
With fucking teens.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I said it.
Hey, don't go there.
We're not sponsored by her. Who cares?
Oh my god. That's libel. Listen, I've never listened to Katy Perry. I don't know what she does.
She poisons the youth. Don't worry about it.
Oh no. All I know is she has Sims 3.
She has Sims 3. I did like how... Okay, I did have an issue with... They were very nonchalant about, like, just people being dead in their office.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was kind of funny.
I don't know if there's some sort of, like, message supposed to be there. Is this, like, Satoshi's way of saying, like, man, I really fucking hate my boss?
I think it was, like...
This is what it feels like working here.
I think it's, like, yeah, like, they're so worked on the animation that, like, when people, like, make those things, like, I will die before giving up on this episode, like, they really mean it.
Well, I the way I read it was, I don't care if you fucking die. This has to get done.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, the one thing...
At the end... Yep.
Oh, the one thing that makes me uncomfortable is, like, I am so 100% afraid whenever I'm on a set, whenever I'm doing anything, I am terrified of being Saru.
Oh, just being a total fuck up?
Yeah, I that is what I am afraid of being. And, like, I'm afraid people think of me as that.
But I think the issue is for him is he doesn't actually try.
Yeah, I suppose.
And he doesn't, not only does he not try, he doesn't want to try.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's something you would have to worry about if you honestly want to be there and you honestly want to work.
Because I think
that being said, I watched this show at work.
Oh. Yeah. I think there's been, like, a couple situations where, like, the one part where, like, he didn't tell the one lady, like, the updated schedule.
Yeah,
like,
which is his job.
I've been in, like, times where, like, I was supposed to tell somebody about something and forgot to until the last minute. And I'm like, oh god. Like, so that, like, kind of hit me. I was like, fuck. But that's only, like, been at, like, my receptionist job, really. But that's not even, it's not a on-set thing that's ever happened.
That twist at the end where it turned out that he just fucking killed people. I wonder if he actually killed more than one person.
Oh yeah. Was he the one killing everybody else?
It's entirely possible.
The little slugger was coming for him.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
But I did, like, what I really liked about this episode was there's a whole horror story within one scene.
Yeah.
Or one setting. And that's why I like this episode.
Yeah, it's all flashbacks. I really liked... I know, like, it gets comical when, like, it cuts to, like, Moromi explaining the animation industry.
Well, it's the way it's supposed to be. That's what they do in Shirobako as well.
Yeah.
They have their own mascot characters that do that aren't part of reality.
But, like, what's funny is, like...
It's exposition for the audience.
At first, it's, like, honest, like, yeah, this is this character, this is what they do. And then it goes to, like, towards the end, it's like, it's their murdered body on the floor, and it's like, and then it cuts to Moromi, and it's like, this is what their job is, and this is what they do. It's like they're dead.
I don't remember that.
I swear, there's like one part where like somebody's like murdered.
Oh, probably that animator.
Yeah, the brown hair lady, I think, is the one that they do it on, with the ponytail.
Yeah, let me find her real quick. When he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize that she was dead."
It was either her or like later on in the episode. I can't quite remember.
Here it is. This is her.
I do remember the Moromi segment.
Let's get a cut to her.
If it doesn't cut to Moromi, then it's the later part when they're all dying in the office, I think.
Yeah.
They do it?
She is the director of animation. Usually drawings are done by several animators. Therefore, these drawings are not always drawn the same style. The animation director's job is to correct them.
Yeah, she's like dead in the back.
So they look consistent. After all, the face is the most important part of the character.
Like, that whole sequence kind of reminded me of, like, the movie House. You ever seen it?
I don't think I heard of that movie.
Oh, dude, check it out. It's like a 60s movie. It's a Japanese horror film. House.
Maybe, is this the one where it has, like, a flying thing in it?
Yeah, there's, like, a flying head at one point.
Yeah.
And there's, like,
I heard about this.
The poster is, like, a giant cat.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's a really good movie. Check it out. It's fucking crazy. It's kind of like this episode, in a way. Except it's not about animation and shit. It's just, like,
it's just a lot of juxtaposition.
The juxtaposition between like really silly style up to like horrific things happening. So yeah, if you're watching this, watch House. It's really good.
Not the show. Fuck that show.
Oh yeah. Watch the movie.
That show is garbage.
Yeah. I tried watching House. All right, you know what? I try to be nice about everybody. Okay. I don't like House because every episode is the same fucking thing.
I don't like House because he never developed over 9 fucking seasons and every character is beyond unlikable.
I never even got into the 9th season. I saw the first 2 and I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is the same shit.
Because, like, okay, so Seinfeld to me is really funny because they're incredibly selfish and it's hilarious, right?
I think, yeah.
But House, they're incredibly selfish, but I don't like any of them.
I think it's like with House, the thing that bothers me most of all is the formula.
Yeah, but that's true of every show. What show does not have a formula? Besides this one.
Seinfeld. Boom.
It's a show about nothing, okay?
Yeah, there you go. So, boom. No formula.
No, in fact, Seinfeld even said it's not a show about nothing.
There you go. No formula. See, they led your expectation and then they smashed it.
Yeah, if I can take it to the next level.
So Paranoia Agent, it actually kind of starts off like with a formula and then like throws it away when the cops leave.
Yeah, I guess, because then it's just going into all these other weird things.
That is something interesting that I do like, is that like the detective never gets his job back as a detective.
Well, you can't at the end of considering how it ends.
He could, but he doesn't.
I don't think he could.
The I mean the old guy.
Yeah.
No, not the white hair crazy one. I mean, security
chief. The chief. I don't think he can get his job back.
Yeah, he can't. Like, I feel like a lot of shows would develop like this, like, and then he gets his job back and shows everybody he was right.
I misunderstood. I thought you were saying that he could get his what he could have, but I was.
I like that. I like that he doesn't. Like, he's like, yeah, he has to live with the consequences of what happened.
Well, I was gonna say he can't because when the cycle starts again, I was thinking that's their starting point. It's almost like King Crimson in effect, where anything that's happened in the past up to that point is gone. And it's only if this is where we are now, then it's safe to assume that everything in the past was the path that it would take to get here. That's weird to explain it, but I don't know. Did that make sense at all?
No.
Okay.
But neither did any of the episode endings with the old man explaining stuff, so you're right on the money.
So on the head of the game, Satoshi Kon, I have your book. I didn't read it.
Who
I
needs
also
to
bought
read
it before I even heard of you. So
Who needs to read the book when we got the writer right here? What does
I
that
actually
mean?
was going to do a panel on Satoshi Kon's storytelling and shit and directing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't accept my panel.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
I
was
was
told
you gotta
I
call
was being.
Satoshi Kon and be like, "Hey,
Well, he's dead. First of all,
what?
yeah, he
Fuck.
died a few years back.
I didn't know that.
He died. I think he died before I even met you.
Oh my god, that's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what did they
But
say about
I
your panel?
really did like Perfect Blue.
I love Paranoia Agent. What did they say about your panel?
They just didn't want it. I was told maybe because it was too niche and it wasn't broad enough to let people in. But I was like, I think
it's
it's
all
kind of a
that
big
niche.
deal.
I think it might have been
And then
because it's like talking about other people's stuff, but I don't know.
Okay, but then they had a meetup for fucking Yu Yu Hakusho cosplayers.
Yeah,
That show's like 25,000 years old.
Yeah, but like the cosplayers, they were like It was about the cosplayers themselves.
You can go outside.
Yeah.
You know what? This year, I'm going to
outside.
hold my panel in the lobby.
Oh my god.
How many people can attend? Doesn't matter. I can take them all.
Oh my god.
I'm going to get a fucking megaphone
Is this
and just start doing a panel.
is this fucking Voltage Avengers panel?
Chris Rugg?
Yeah. What's under the rug?
Under the rug. Follow my Reddit.
Another Meg 64 reference.
Deep cut.
Alright.
Episode 11. That was kind of crazy, where it's like, oh, that was his wife.
Oh yeah.
Beyond that, I don't think there's really
So
much to talk about.
the thing that I like about this episode that I forgot about until rewatching it, she doesn't get hit by the bat.
She gets grazed.
She gets grazed, but she's not like knocked out like everybody else is. Like he doesn't get a
I don't
home
think-
run on her.
I don't think she can be. Because her mind has been like long gone, right?
No, I think her mind is still there. I think that's why she doesn't get hit, because like she is 100%. She knows what's happening. She knows that like this fucking little slugger guy is fake, and she rejects his salvation.
Then why is she hanging up bedding in the rain?
What?
That was the whole point of her like losing her faculties, because it's like, oh, she's hanging blankets out to dry, but it's raining.
Oh, I think that was because like the typhoon was coming, and like she decided she wanted to die for like a brief moment, and that's why Little Slugger was coming for her. But then she rejected it, and she didn't go take him out because she was kind of busy talking to Little Slugger.
No, even like it was when the detective was leaving the house. He even mentions that she hangs out my bedding to dry in the rain.
Oh, I thought no. He was saying that like she goes out of her way to dry things, like that she's going out of her way to. Like I don't think he was saying that like that she's like losing her mind. It was that like she's 100% doing everything, even when like it's at a disadvantage to her.
I guess, yeah, she made a meal and like waited a week. Honestly, I still think she's sick in the head.
I think she's sick in the heart. I don't think she was sick in the head.
That's true.
Like that might be a mistranslation as well, because I think like it was. I don't like. Do they show like actually like there's clothes out in the rain?
Yeah, you see her out in the rain, hanging up a towel, saying goodbye to him when he's outside.
I just saw it. Yeah, I didn't catch that. I don't know.
How did the criminal know about the escape world?
What? How did the criminal know about the gay world? What?
The escape world.
What's escape world?
The pre-war era world. Because he gives him the matchbox, and then they both like are in this world together.
Oh,
and then
he's older than him.
Oh, that's true. And he never comes back. You don't see him in the final shots.
Yeah, he might have died.
That's true. A lot of them, I think, died to the dogs.
It's all going to dogs.
I think those. Yeah, it's all going to dogs. Okay, so I guess we can talk about the finale.
Okay, so Radar Man.
Fucking hype.
He's the hero coming to save us. He played Dragon Quest and
who will save us?
Radar Man. He knows. He listens in on all your conversations. He talks to dolls.
So does the other guy. Which, okay, at first that guy when he's with the prostitute.
Yeah.
Because we saw him before.
Yeah.
And he's like talking about like a kid in the neighborhood or something. And then you see him like banging this girl. I'm like, oh man, he gets ass. And then he starts talking to dolls. I'm like, okay, maybe he's just a little crazy and this is like a blow up doll. Then she moves. I'm like, maybe she's a prostitute.
Well, yeah. I think it was like entirely.
My perception kept shifting.
Yeah, he's just like waifu delusional.
Yeah. Then
he was making figures of all the victims, so what was that all about?
He was the puppet master.
What if he's Little Slugger?
Yeah.
He's the real Little Slugger.
They kept saying it's like he's Little Slugger. I'm like, is he?
Yeah.
Were the dolls real? I guess they'd have to be because all the rules are out the window.
I think the information that he gets from the dolls could have been gotten in another way. So I think that it was just part of his like Radar Man delusion. But also like since Little Slugger is a thing that if you think it's real, it becomes real. Maybe he was tapping into that force and making these things real by thinking they're real.
That's actually a plot point in this book series called The Dresden Files, which is about a wizard detective. And it's like the thing
that's
there.
That's a show, isn't it?
It was one season and it was so poorly edited. I barely finished the first episode.
I don't know.
I don't know who thought it was a good idea to cut it the way they did. Thinking about it now, I think they were trying to cut it like NCIS.
Oh god.
Yeah, I watched that recently at work. It's just terrible all around.
I never really watched it. Well, I've seen it. I saw it while giving blood. Like they had it on TV.
You could have picked a better show to give blood to.
Well,
they should put on like Blade or something. I don't know.
They did once. That was crazy.
Put vampire movies all day.
Like they stopped showing like cool movies though because like I guess people were saying like, "Hey, this is in a movie theater." It's just like, come on. It's more fun.
Yeah, it should always be movies about vampires.
Well, just movies in general, I'd be happy with. I should have Terminator one. Sounds like, oh shit, it's Arnold.
But it's like, what like magic is real if you just like believe in it enough.
I don't think it's necessarily that. It's just it's real to him.
Yeah, it's real to him, but then it becomes becomes real.
Yeah, like I think it's it's not necessarily that. I think it's because Little Slugger exists on this entire belief structure that the only way to fight Little Slugger is to fight him on top of that you have to believe. Like it's not just like, well, I think I have a super lightsaber and I'll cut you in half. Like he has to 100% tap into this and actually believe that it's real, that he can do this to fight Little Slugger. So I don't think it's necessarily like magic is real if you believe in it. It's like 100%. It only applies to fighting Little Slugger or a little bat. Shannon Bat.
Bat boy.
He actually starts turning into kind of like a bat, like his face.
I thought he was like turning into a beast, and then when I found out he was like a dog, I'm like, oh, maybe he's a dog. But then he's like a weird ass dog.
He turned into a fucking monster.
I think it's just a beast in general.
Yeah,
it's good enough.
Because like they started like all the rumors were going nuts. People are going, oh, too crazy. It's like people reinterpreting the Joker. A Batman villain.
They should have just stopped at Suicide Squad iteration. No need to evolve.
Actually, the Suicide Squad is really like... They should have stopped before that.
No.
The Vampire Joker probably shouldn't have went there.
In the comics?
The cartoon movie Batman vs. Dracula, where the Joker becomes a vampire. That
sounds rad.
See, the way Batman discovers Dracula's identity is he sees, like, oh, this Mr. Alucard walks in, looks in a mirror, he's like, Dracula backwards.
Oh my gosh. Brilliant detective work.
Batman's a genius.
Yeah. He's ahead of his time.
Yep.
He's mirror tricks. He can read sand if you think about it.
Oh, shit.
Because mirrors are made of sand.
Alright, would Batman be able to deduce and defeat Shonen Bat?
Yes. No, he can't.
Why not?
Because the whole time he would either chalk it up to some like Justice League dark shit or Scarecrow's feared toxin.
Oh shit. What if this whole show it was just Scarecrow's fear toxin? He was going nuts.
And that detective was Batman.
Oh shit.
That's why he got on the truck that said Bat Express. Okay, well that's like it's like episode 12, then episode 13. That's when it just gets wild. I think your headset ran out of batteries. Kevin, you there? Alright, where did we leave off? Because yesterday your power went out. Or was it the day before? I don't remember.
Yeah, we were on the last two episodes, and then my power went out. Little Slugger took his bat, smacked my power, I guess. And took out Cleveland.
All of Cleveland went down?
Yeah, I think so. Or I looked outside and it was pitch black, so I assume it was all of Cleveland. I haven't looked up the news or anything.
Second last episode, I don't... Oh, did we talk about the doll maker and if the dolls were real? I don't remember.
I think we were getting to that. We were talking about Radar Man.
I'm talking about Radar Man. I don't remember what we said. You were saying how like the information he got, he could have easily gone anywhere else, like in the papers.
Yeah, I think that's what we were talking about, the dolls right there.
All right. Oh, so the balloons of the dog.
Yeah.
That made me think of two things. It made me think of like those like balloon characters from Return of the Dark Knight, and they were like full of Joker gas.
You mean Batman 1989?
Whatever. No, the Frank Miller story.
Oh wait, hold on. Those flying kids were balloons?
Well, they inflated like a balloon.
I always assumed they were just like. You know what? Guys. I just thought they were flying kids.
They were flying kids, but they were full of gas.
Yeah. I thought it was like the future, so it was like technology or something.
Oh no. They also reminded me of the balloons. Of the balloons from the Detective Pikachu movie, full of gas. And I was like, oh man, are they going to turn everyone into these dogs?
They reminded me of the Macy's Day Parade balloons.
Is Macy's still a relevant department store?
I don't know. They still do the Thanksgiving thing, I think. I thought they sold candy.
Mace is just an expensive target, which is already expensive to begin with.
Mace is what you should use when Little Slugger creeps on
you. The midpoint for the episodes, it made me think of like weird like Adult Swim bumpers.
Yeah, I think a lot of like early 2000s anime kind of had stuff like that. Those bumpers. Like I feel like I've never seen Ergo Proxy, but I feel like it probably did that.
I don't remember. Actually, I had to take that off our list because I already saw it like earlier this year when I thought we weren't doing any more of these.
I might watch it.
Ugh, I don't want to watch it again.
You don't have to watch it again. Just use your memory, and then I'll debunk all your forgotten thoughts.
I had very little to say about it, actually.
And then there's also like Dot Hack.
That's not even on the list.
Well, I'm just talking about like stuff that has those weird bumpers.
Oh, Shirobako has one, but it's not a weird bumper. It's just like it just says Shirobako.
Serial Experiments Lane.
I don't get that show still.
It has that bumper though.
Yeah.
Listen, Serial Experiments Lane. We should do a podcast where all we talk about is that. We don't even rewatch it. We just talk about what it's about from what we remember. Hey everybody, there was a power out. I lost all my energy.
Gosh, no, we shouldn't leave it in.
Okay. Alright, well now we've got all this. So anyway. The final 2 episodes, Radar Man's going around town. Checking facts.
Taking names.
Talking to the old man right before he dies. Spoilers.
Well, I was gonna say, the little slugger just disappears at one point.
Does he disappear? Or is he everywhere?
No, literally, he's like off that guy's shirt.
Well, no, that's the dog disappears.
Yeah, sorry, but no. Also, little slugger disappeared because he was fighting.
He was the jelly. He became the jelly man.
Oh.
And started like engulfing everybody in the darkness. And then we see Detective Man's Delusion World, where everybody's like little cutouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last 2 episodes, I think they speak for themselves, basically.
Let me check the last one out. I was looking at the second last one. Why does a detective want to live in this other mindset?
Because everything's nicer there. Everything makes sense. It's not all fucking bullshit, nonsense, modern society.
Does he despise his wife?
I don't think so. It's weird. I don't think he hates her. I think he does love her, but it's just like because of the circumstances, they kind of weigh a toll on him. Like, because like once he finds out, once he's reminded of her, like that's kind of what like makes him break down everything.
You want to talk about the loop at the end?
I know you wanted to talk about the loop. I wanted to tell you the truth.
Let me point something out during this loop real quick.
All right.
When the designer is back to being like a teenager,
yeah.
and we see all these other characters, it's as if it was I mentioned everything in the past didn't happen.
Still did.
Yes and no, but they have no memories of it, I guess.
They have memories of it.
Do they?
They mention, they don't like say exactly what happened, but they say like after the horrible accident on the news.
Yes, but I'm talking like maybe the older detective, for example.
I think he remembers what happened.
Because I was going to say, the designer, she's a teen again, and she crosses the crosswalk. That reporter's there, and he recognizes her.
I don't think anybody forgot what happened, but she has like, I'm not exactly sure she's a teenager again. She is wearing like a different clothes and has a different hairstyle, but
that doesn't look like an office. Well, maybe it is an office worker outfit.
I mean,
I thought she went back to being a teen and things were getting weird.
the office worker outfit she was wearing was just like casual, so
Yeah, but that was
like
different.
she didn't really have a dress code.
I thought this was a school uniform. Oh.
Yeah, it kind of looks like one, but it's got a. She might be working at an airline.
It could be.
Who knows?
I was gonna say a bank, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me the truth now. Now that the young detective is old.
All right. Here is my thoughts. I don't think it's really a cycle. I don't think it's going. It's not a Little Slugger is not coming back.
It's gonna be a new Slugger.
It might not even be a new Slugger. I think it was just like there is kind of a like I don't think time was reset or anything like that. I'm against that theory in general. That's basically it. Like I think if something does happen, there's no guarantee that it's going to be the same as Little Slugger.
But it might be the same idea because like what else do you have a man doing math?
Like some guys might do something. There is we don't really see like what he's shocked by when he finishes the equation. For all we know, like the reveal he has to himself is like, "Oh shit, I'm crazy." It might not even be that he's found the next victim, or maybe that his shock is just that the equation leads to nothing. Like
it was pointed out to me. I didn't really keep track of it, but every character has an animal attached to them.
How so?
I don't know. You'll have to ask someone else.
Okay, like I can see Tsukiko has Moromi the dog.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe
Chomo has the crow. The lady.
Yeah.
But I guess one guy's a frog because he's seen as a frog in Video Gamer Boy thing.
Yeah.
But what is Gamer Boy's animal?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I was told.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't follow this theory.
All in all, I thought it was an okay show, like right in the middle. Like I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5.
I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
Why?
Because I liked it.
What did you not like?
The one things I don't really like. Okay, so I'm not super crazy about like the final 2 episodes or the gamer episode. So I guess like, you know what, 4 out of 5, just because like 3 episodes of the show I don't really care for. Like I like the big reveal of the last episode, but when like Little Slugger is a monster and Radar Man is like fighting him with a sword, I was just like, I don't really. I like when Little Bat's just a kid. Like, I know he like starts transforming into a monster because that's how it works, but like, if he was still like just a creepy ghost kid, I don't know. I like that more interesting than the giant blob. That's my thoughts.
Alright. Yeah. It's okay.
I guess there was also like some unresolved stuff too. Like,
what?
We don't really get to see like how does after the whole new world happens, what happens with the cop and his daughter? Like, how did they resolve that? And like, what about like we see I think Maria in the last episode, but we don't see like how does the whole like does she keep going on through the split personalities? How does she confront that?
I don't know, because she gets engulfed by the blob at the end.
Yeah. Like, did she die?
I don't know.
Who knows? Like, I guess that's my one thing is like a lot of characters get brought up and then we don't really see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like the climax just being like, we gotta fight this monster is like whatever. But like the best part of the climax is Tsukiko and like the revelation of like exactly where this all actually did come from. I like that part. And you get to see that. That was cool. And I liked the weird zone in Detective Guy's Set Life. He's like fantasy world. But yeah. Satoshi Kon, 10 out of 10.